こんにちは。
Hello.
I'm Dalton, ダルです。
I'm Aoi, Aoi です。こちらはバイリンガル形式でポッドキャストをお届けいたします。
イェイ。
イェイ。噛んじゃった。イェイ。
Yay. And today we're talking about Marvel. Marvel, the massive, huge
大きなアメリカの
company,
会社の
studio, all
ス
kinds
タ
of
ジオ
things.
のいっぱいのやつ。
But specifically, we're talking about the Marvel movies,
はい。
the new ones, newish.
なんか日本にいたらあまり見る機会がなかった気がした。私は。
I feel like they do theatrical releases, don't they?
映画館でやってるかも。
Right, with subtitles.
普通にスパイダーマン3とかそういう感じでやってるんだよ。
You mean like a dub? Like with Japanese voices?
あとチュードできるそのサブタイトルか日本語か
In the theater, like there's different options.
そう
That's cool.
You did it know that?
I never really went to the theater in Japan.
あ
But I suppose we do the same thing in the US though, with like the Ghibli films and
あ
stuff.
そうだね日本語
There's
か
both.
そういう感じ
Or like even like Dragon Ball. There was some Dragon Ball movie I saw in the theater like 5 years ago that had the same thing where they had
ドラゴンボールね
Japanese with subtitles or English.
ドラゴンボール映画あるの
There's a bunch of them, yeah.
知らなかった
Anyways, so Aoi never really watched the Marvel movies as they were coming out, right?
いや
Like Iron Man, Captain America, Thor,
ス
like
タッフや
okay, what were you saying about that?
なんか他のものアイアンマンとかキャプテンアメリカとかは見たことがなかった、はい
Yeah.
けどなんかスパイダーマンとか
Oh
他
yeah.
のなんかアントマンとかなんかこうちょっと目立つ不思議なものは見てたっていうか映画館でちょっとなんか面白そうに
Yeah.
ポスターが貼ってあるから見てたことがあるけどこれが何の話の続きで何のなのか
Yeah.
知らないで普通に見に行ってたんだけど
Can you think of maybe a couple that you have seen? I think you've seen the original like Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies.
何それトビー・グライメン
To-
トビー・what?
the old Spider-Man actor.
あ
I think you've seen his movies because
見たことある。
you mentioned like we looked it up one time and you said you recognized his face.
あ、
So
その人じゃなくてもう今の人なんだっけ
I'm
昨日い
blanking
た
on his
人
I'm blanking on his name, but the
ピーター・パーカーみたいななんだっけ
that Peter Parker is Spider-Man's name. Yeah.
あ、待って
I was talking about the actor's name, not Spider-Man's
あー、
name.
オッケー私ピーター・パーカーはピーター・パーカーで名前なのかと思った本当に
You thought his real life
だってみんなにピーターって言われてたからさ
because that's his name in the movie.
ムービーがフェイマスだからオッケー
I'm so you thought the actor and the character in the movie
恥ず
had the
かしい
same.
このポッドキャスト消したいあの人の名前本当にピーター・パーカーなのかと思う
Just Guzan, his real name and his name
ね
in
え
the
や
movie.
だ消したいこれやめようレコーディング3分の間で私どんだけ恥ずかしい
That's okay.
姿は
That's okay. So, anyways, so you've seen some Spider-Man movies. What else have you seen, if you can think of anything?
エントマン
You've seen Ant-Man?
Yeah
I've never seen Ant-Man. So you recognized
but
him
I
in the
don't
movie.
remember cause
Yeah.
you know I don't have any information of
Yeah, but you recognized him in the movie we
Yeah.
watched last night. Okay.
Oh yeah みたいなけど覚えてない何が起こってたっけなって
Yeah, yeah.
あと何があるっけなどんなのがあるかなやっぱり映画見てなくてもなんかこのキャラクターはこれはマーベルのキャラクターだとかは分かってた
Yeah.
例えばその木の貝
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I am なんちゅうかって言ってた人なんだっけ
Groot?
グルー
Yeah.
その人とかグリーンのビッグガイ
Green big... Oh, Hulk.
ホルトホック
The Hulk, yeah.
とかアライグマの
Yeah.
やつとか
Rocket.
あとキャプテンアメリカもその丸いその ソウルみたいなのは見たことあった。
ソウル？
ソウル
Shield？
シールド
Yeah.
はい、もうやめます。
So, basically, a while back we actually made an episode for Doctor Strange.
見た。
That was your first Marvel movie ever, and I think it was a good choice because, I mean, I asked you to watch it because you wanted to watch a movie, and it's my favorite one. And it doesn't really directly show any other like Avengers Marvel stuff going on besides the stone at the end.
そうだね。
So
それでもすごく楽しめたの。
yeah.
面白かった。
And so you wanted to watch another Marvel movie, and I said, okay, well, we could do the real release order, or we could do the chronological order, or we could just, you know, explore and see what you like.
そう。
And so where we landed was watching the first Avengers movie.
そう、まずね、
Yeah, yeah.
マーベルムービーはディズニーみたいな感じで一個一個の作品だと思ってたの。でもそれが全部つながってるって知って、
Yeah.
ってびっくり、衝撃受けた。
Yeah.
はい。
They start off pretty separate, and then they all come together, and then like different things happen in different ones that are kind of connected. It's weird.
That's funny.
So
I love it.
we watched the first Avengers movie. In my mind, I was thinking, okay, well, maybe she'll really like a character or two, and we can watch their movies on the side, and then she'll kind of get the pieces that she likes out of it. And what ended up happening was, I think what you liked the most was the interplay between the people.
ああ、
And
そうかもしれないね。
After we watched the first one, there was no like, oh, I want to see Thor or I want to see Iron Man. It was just, we should watch the next Avengers movie.
そうなのさ。その6人7人ぐらいのそのすごい最強人たちがさ戦ってたり地球を守ってるとかの話を見るのがもうすごく刺激的で好きだったんだけど、そこでまた一人一人に行くってなったらすごい時間がかかりそうって思って、だからその全員集まってるやつの丸2をもう一回次見たいで昨日見たのよ。で昨日なんなら2個見たのよ。
So we were starting to watch Guardians of the Galaxy.
So.
And we watched most of it another time, and we actually stopped partway through, and we finished it up last night.
はい。で、その後に
We watched Captain America Civil War, which is basically like Avengers 2.5.
それ
Because it has everybody in it.
でもね、その映画は完璧に終わると思ったら終わらなかったから、
Yeah.
今終わったのと思ってすっごく次に見たくなるアニメみたいな気持ちになって。
Yeah, the cliffhangers.
で、今日か明日か今週末にまた見ようと思ってます。3番目。
Yeah. So.
誰が好き？キャラクターで。
Ooh.
誰になりたい？
I still think, in terms of like powers, the coolest ones for me are Doctor Strange or the girl. What's her name? Is it Wanda?
Yeah, the magic か。
Yeah.
ガイじゃない女の子。あ、わかる。私もマジックの女の子になりたい。
Yeah.
彼女最終的にそれを使って飛べるようになったりとかしてるの見たら無限大だなと思って。でドクター・ストレンジは一番最初にそうさっき話したけど見たから、
Yeah.
ちょっと記憶が薄れてるんだけど、
Yeah.
なんか手でビーってやったりするんだよね。
The thing that I liked about Doctor Strange is it's a whole system of magic, right? It's not just one power. It's an entire school. It's an entire like field of different things that different sorcerers can do different things if they learn different techniques, you know?
うん、そうだったかもしれない。やばい、見ないともう一回。
What about you? What's been your favorite character?
うん、言ったようにそのマジックの女の子。
Yeah. Is there a character
可愛いし。
Is there a character that you like a lot that isn't necessarily like the powers you'd want to have?
なんか普通にびっくりしたのはアイアンマンはもう完璧にガードされててすごいパワーボシュンプシュンでやってたりできるのに、キャプテンアメリカはその大きい強い、ガードだけであとパンチの筋肉、
Yeah.
すごいなんかその差があるじゃん、って思ったの。 けどなんかその2人で戦ってるシーンを昨日見て何全然その差がなくてさ、びっくりした。キャプテンアメリカすごいと思ったし。
Yeah.
うん。
Yeah, I know.
伝わる？伝わる？
Yeah, definitely.
なんかフェアじゃないじゃんって思ったの最初。なんかそのレベルが違いすぎるんじゃないかって思ったんだけど。
Right.
違った。
I think, especially in Captain America: Civil War, one of the points was they weren't trying to kill each other, actually. And also it was kind of highlighting the ways that they're different. You know, like Captain America's fighting ability and strength is much higher, and Tony's ability to use technology to his advantage is higher. And
そうそう、ポケモンじゃん。もうポケモンみたい。
Right, yeah, exactly. So I think we also mentioned it already, but we watched Guardians of the Galaxy.
はい。
What was your impression or thoughts about Guardians of the Galaxy?
アメリカ人好きそうって思った。本当に使われる音楽とかジョークとか
Yeah.
はなんかこれ同じカルチャーじゃない日本人が見たら笑うタイミング違うんだろうなとか、このジョーク通じないんだろうなとか、知ってる曲じゃないから盛り上がらないんだろうなとか
Yeah.
思ったりもした。
Yeah, for sure. I thought the same thing. We were about like halfway through it, and I could tell that like you were not liking it nearly as much as the Avengers. And then we talked about it later. I was like, I wonder why. Like, I feel like this movie is. A lot of people seem to think that Guardians of the Galaxy is very funny and
評価高いんだよね。
Yeah, a lot. It's a different type of movie from the normal Avengers, but after we talked about it, like you said, it seems like all the music is not something most Japanese people would know, but the whole soundtrack, most people like the movies because their soundtrack is really good.
そうそう、なんか知ってる曲が半分ぐらいだったし、
Yeah.
あとなんかその主人公が言うジョーク、なんか言い回しで、
Yeah.
全然その下に出てくるサブタイトルの日本語訳が
Yeah.
違ったりしてびっくりしたの。で、一番わかりやすいのが昨日見ててすごい記憶に残ってるのがね、なんか戦ってる時に俺になんかちょっとオレンジをくれみたいな、オレンジのビタミン C が欲しいみたいなことを言ったの、けど日本語訳で誰かサプリメントをくださいみたいな感じで書いてて、あれそうだったっけな、薬をくれみたいな、オレンジをくれだったのに薬をくれみたいになってて、わこのギャップと思って、これで全然捉え方が変わるのに、なんか分かりやすいようにきっと訳したんだろうけど、こっちからしたらそのまま書いてほしかった。
I think wasn't that in Civil War? Wasn't it Ant-Man that said I need orange slices?
あれそっちだっけ？
Yeah.
あ、もう混ざっちゃった。
That's okay.
でも
But yeah, the same thing applies though, especially with like the kinds of jokes that Rocket would make, or like there's a lot of jokes around like metaphors and sarcasm and that kind of thing. The whole movie is basically a bunch of sarcasm. And because sarcasm, hiniku, doesn't really
全然皮肉がね、
doesn't really make sense in
make sense.
Japanese culture. The whole movie is just like difficult to translate.
そうそう。だから絶対日本語のボイスのやつにしたらさ、
I wonder what they would do.
やばくない、
Yeah.
絶対。
Yeah, that's
怖いんだけ
that's
ど。
rough. Yeah. I'm glad we're watching it in English though.
Yeah,
That's how it was
right.
made.
But it's still a good movie. I love it.
Yeah.
でもマジで長い、全部2時間半とか、アバターぐらいに長い。びっくりした。
It would feel a lot longer if you actually watched all the movies. Like if you actually watched Iron Man 1 and 2 and Hulk and Thor 1 and Captain America 1 before you watch the Avengers.
マジや
And
ば
then you
い。
go on and you watch Iron Man 3 and Captain America 2.
人生終わりそう、全部見てた
Yeah.
ら。
Yeah, it's the only reason I had seen most of them was because they came out gradually, slowly as I was a kid, you know? It was like maybe once or twice or 3 times a year, like one would come out and we would go see it.
楽しいね、いいね。
But
あれは映画館で見るべき映画だ。
yeah,
迫力とか。
yeah. But I have not really kept up though. In fact, I've actually never even seen Endgame, which anyone who's listening to this is probably, if they know anything about Marvel, they know that that's like this big giant climax of phase 3 or 4 or whatever it was. And I just haven't seen it. I watched Infinity War and then I haven't seen Endgame or anything after that. So it's going to be fun for me too when we finally get up to that point, because we won't be able to pause and have me explain things, because I'm not going to know at that point.
で今までは私が分かんない時とか、ちょっと待って何これどうなってるのみたいな大君に聞いてたんだけど、この女の人はばっかりそれともいい人みたいな、聞いてたけど、それがこれからなくなるのはコンフュージョン増えますね。
Yeah, up to now it's been pretty simple. Like in the Avengers 1, there was obviously Loki was the main bad guy, and having not seen Thor, you kind of didn't really know anything about Thor or Asgard or Loki or the Frost Giants or any of that stuff, any of the backstory. But I could easily enough explain they're brothers and Loki's kind of the bad guy and blah blah blah, and you could make sense of it. Now, though, that we're getting deeper and deeper into it with Civil War and with Age of Ultron and stuff, there's so many other things coming up, like who's the Winter Soldier and what's Hydra and all this other stuff that's happening. The stories are getting more related, and so it's we can try watching the next Avengers movie, and if it's too confusing, we can just go back and watch something else.
確かにそうかもしれない。
Otherwise, I think we'll be fine.
皆さんはどこまでついてて見れてますか？私はまだ4つ目ぐらいです。いやてかなんかスパイダーマンが昨日出てきたんじゃん、アベンジャーズ3で、なんかまた違うね。なんか空気が変わった。
I noticed you laughed a lot when Spider-Man was talking.
やっぱ面白いもん。なんかそのセリフ、彼の言うセリフ、あ、なんちゃかだねとかっていうボケが分かりやすいし簡単だし、なんか彼のキャラクターがなんか日本人でも多分受けるあれなのかもしれないけど、楽しかった。彼が出てきてから。
Yeah, I agree. I think they did a really good job with this version of Spider-Man. He's funny and yeah.
わあ、なんか行きたくなったね。ユニバ?
Univa, yeah. You'll probably have a different experience now that you've been able to experience this. Or is it Univa?
あれ違う？ディズニー
every time I've gone to both, so it gets kind of mixed in my head.
ね、私も分かんなくなってきた。どっちだ？マーベルはどっちにあるんだ？
It's on Disney, so.
でもディズニーランドで見たことない。
Disney owns Marvel. I think
So Universal は
I think it's at Disney.
Yeah?
I don't know. I think so.
気になるね。
Yeah.
多分ディズニー。Okay.
Thanks for listening to us talk about Marvel.
楽しかった。またお話ししますね。
バイバイ。